Junior here is almost up to 40 hours. I'll probably give a 50-hour update. The way I'm going, I'll hit that pretty quick. It's been a while since I've had a video because I've had 2 weeks with a tremendous amount of rain. Out west of me, there's actually houses that flooded. I was blessed, no flooding, no major issues here, just a lot of rain. With that big hillside back there, a lot of rain coming down the drive. I will say, still very impressed with this thing. I will say my next issue is, wait for it, I gotta figure out how to word it. The Ventrac is too handy. I'm supposed to be doing some things inside, supposed to be working on the ZTR, got the belt replaced, got a video on that I need to work on. I got the fuel system all cleaned up, got everything ready to roll. Doesn't even turn over, battery's charged, probably a safety switch on that thing somewhere. That's my wife's happy place, that little ZTR, so I need to figure it out. And Junior is just too handy. Once you get started, it's hard to stop because you're seeing so much progress so quickly. So, with progress in mind, let's take a look at what I've been doing with this power rake. Some videos, some not. I get started, you're sitting in this seat here and you just start going and you're like, oh, I just need to scooch over 10 feet to the left and I'll work on that, and then 10 more feet, and then 10 more feet, and then 10 more feet, and before you know it, you're stopping to fill up the fuel tank. So that's my next problem with the Ventrac, is it's too handy, too convenient. This is what the mess was that I've been working on for the last few nights. The driveway portion up here. It used to go across, have a nice little dip and over, because I've always brought gravel in on the right side and topped that off. We had a trailer right here where I'm standing, which was a little, I don't know, 25-foot gooseneck. I use it as a woodshed now. My chicken coop was up there where the gravel's a little dark. It's not dark because of the chicken coop. It's dark because I was working on the hillside over there, but that's next to talk about. But this is smooth like butter. You can walk across this and not twist an ankle, not go sideways. I'm going to eventually try and do something with this hillside. It looks smoother than it is because the grass on the bottom is nice and tall to hide the little cliff there. So if you walk down, there's a surprise step towards the end. We'll work on that one of these days. So this is the driveway up here. I'm very happy. I got to finish cleaning up that cleaning up that table with stuff. That was one of the other reasons I've not had any Ventrac videos, is I have a deck I've been working on. Rain stops. I go outside, I work on the deck, rain starts, I go inside because I figure it's probably not good to be working in the rain with power tools. I may not be a rocket scientist, but to me, water and electricity don't mix. I didn't do videos on the deck because, well, I don't know how to build decks, and it is very solid, very, you know, looks good, very solid, but I don't want people trying to think I'm a deck expert, because I am not. That's my third deck to build. First one was really tiny. Second one worked okay. And this one seems to be the best of the three so far. Now, this is the next one. I'll have to do a different video, but I extended. That's the hillside you see from the pole barn. Was a total disaster. I got it extended all the way up to here. The dark spots is where I was dragging dirt. That's why this gravel here is a little dark. Also because it's wet. I'm cleaning up some stuff, hosing it off so that gravel's wet. But I will tell you, I need to move this rock. A Ventrac can get up on 3 axles. And let me tell you what, that doesn't give you a warm fuzzy when you're 8 tires and 6 of them on the ground. That was interesting, but I'll tell you, the Ventrac worked just like a traditional tractor. You drop the front end loader, in this case you drop the power rake, and that stops you from doing any forward momentum, and then just ride down to the bottom of the hill with 3 wheels on the ground, and, well, 2, 4, 6 wheels on the ground and 1 wheel up in the air. 2 wheels up in the air. That was fun. Eventually, whenever I go and talk about this hillside some more, that's my next mess. I'll continue it up as far as I can, past the cabin. But that mess up there is what I've been cleaning up. Essentially, this whole hillside from this cabin all the way down to the pole barn looked like that back there. So this, I'm trying to keep it as low of a slope as possible. When you start up here at the edge and it drops off, you push the dirt as far as you can, then you come around the bottom and you pull the dirt, and even still you end up hitting 27, 30 degrees on some of this stuff until you can get enough dirt pushed down to make it 24, 25 degrees, which makes me happy. The Tough Cut will be able to mow this hillside just fine. I mean, I'm keeping it under 25 degrees, so theoretically I could sideways across it. I don't know I'm going to do that, but like I said, well, another video I have that I haven't had time to publish yet is I put a bunch of grass seed down there, put straw on top, and then this part from the tree towards where it's not done. So that section, I just took a bunch of wildflower seed that I had, spread it all through there. I'm going to let this grass just grow as tall as it can this year, because you can see the ruts are already starting. So I'll have to touch this to groom it up. See, the ruts are already starting, and this is after 3 or 4 rains. I mean, look at that right there. This start doesn't look like much. Give that one good spring, you'll be able to park a basketball inside that hole. So I'll touch this up, and then I'll put more grass seed here after it's touched up, and then I'll put some more straw on top to hopefully keep that from coming. I have a yard hydrant up here. I can come down and spray with a couple hoses just attached. I have a yard hydrant down at the pole barn. I can come up and spray. Right now, lack of rain is not my problem. So anyway, that was another project we were working on. We'll continue around the corner here, say hi to the guys and gals. Their life on this planet is not going to be a whole lot longer getting set up to deal with them. This was my next. We'll stop right here, but you look at the driveway. You can kind of see a pattern of where I haven't mowed the grass versus where the grass looks mowed. You see this slope, how it goes downhill? It used to go the other way. And all the water that would come down this hillside, as I've said, 6, 7 acres, I don't know, ish, maybe 8 acres. It's a lot of grass, a lot of hillside, doesn't matter. Once you get about 5 acres of hillside, that's a lot of water coming down. Comes down, hits my driveway, some runs off over there, some comes down the driveway and goes down there. And when the driveway slopes, let's pretend you're a drop of water. You're just doing your thing, what the water does, goes downhill. So you come down this hill, ooh, you get on this driveway and you say, oh, I'm gonna slope back this way and I'm gonna end up in this groove right here. Well, we ended up with not bad up here. Actually, I used some of my grass and pushed it over. This is a giant clay berm. Let's pause the video here for a moment and think about this clay berm that I built. This clay berm was intended to be helpful, but as I was watching this video, I realized that all the water on that hillside behind the clay berm is going to come down and pop out at the far end into the gully that I'm trying to solve the problem of. So I need to go and visit this clay berm and decide, is it helpful or harmful? But that's okay, because I have more videos coming on this little section of drive here and fixing the problem. Because on the right hand side where I've started power raking, as you saw, I have other cleanup to do, such as I found a PVC pipe buried, which was probably an old septic line from the people I bought this property from. Turns out all they did is, instead of having septic, ran some 4-inch PVC down the hill to drain into the creek, and that was their septic. So more work to come on this area. I will reference and think about this clay berm as I look at it. I put many years ago to try and stop some of the water. I'll have to groom that, make it better, but you see the start right here. It's hard to tell, but it's getting deeper, getting deeper, getting deeper. And as that runs down, all this water, I mean, by the time you get all the way down to the bottom of the drive down there, I could park a motorcycle in there and you wouldn't even see it. It's a deep little gully down there. So what I wanted to do is I have all this flat hillside over here. So what I wanted to do was change my drive from sloping this way to sloping that way. So I took my power rake and I trimmed off. I just kept going back and forth and back and forth, and I kept the power rake angled for whatever direction I was going to push the dirt to the side I wanted to be taller. So you rotate it right, rotate it left, depending upon are you going up or you're coming back. And eventually, after like, I don't even know how long because I wasn't timing, I got my hillside sloped this way. I don't want a ravine like this on this side, and I wanted to smooth this hill out some as well. So, because this used to come across and dip faster, and there was a hump here. I wanted the water just to evenly flow, so I took the power rake and I groomed this hill a little bit. You see, I get these, what my excavator guy calls just a piece of earth. I get these things all over the place. Boy, that gives a bumpy ride, and the power rake hits something like that. This didn't budge. Me and the power rake bounced all around. See, there's another one right there. There's another one right there. That one is actually a smaller one. Power rake chipped it up, tore a big old, bigger than a softball sized chunk off. I was impressed. Power rake just tore that rock up. But find those as you are digging this hillside down. I'll continue up, but I got to be careful. Under that blue barrel is my well, so I need to clean this all up. I'm kind of trying to let the fescue here go to seed. Seed is so expensive right now. I want my fescue to go to seed and just get a lot of fescue, let it get nice and thick. So I've not been mowing right now. We'll mow this weekend because it's looking kind of dry on the seed pod area. But anyway, I just kept grooming and pushing and grooming and pushing and grooming and pushing. And this hillside now, Mr. Slope Indicator doesn't even beep when I come over this hillside. So I need to come down here and touch up the very bottom a little bit. I don't have any video of me doing this because I was having too much fun trying to pretend like I was a drop of water, and how would I go if I was rolling down a hill? Now I'm hoping I would come down the hill, come down the drive, the whole drive. This whole section down here slopes towards us. Somewhere down here, kind of come off, me and my little buddy drops of water would all come down and go evenly across this and not end up with any ruts. We shall see. Need more grass seed. Fescue. Get a sickle and spread it all over. Boy, that'd suck. So I think that's going to work. We'll give an update after a few heavy rains and see if that's how the water goes. But I'm hoping that this, all this effort, changing the slope from pointing towards the gully that's being formed to sloping down and then having an even runoff down this hillside, I'm hoping that will, yeah, see, the whole thing slopes, help my gully down there. Now the drive you can't see, but the drive as you go down, it does slope this way, but then it kind of goes flat, and then as it goes the corner, it gets low and turns the corner. So there will still be some rain that goes into the gully, but it's going to be limited to what's on the drive. About halfway down from this curve to that curve, as you go down the hill, it goes from sloping this way to sloping that way. If I still have a problem with the gully, I'll work on taking that hillside down there and rotating it as well. But I'm thinking that if I can get all the water off the drive before it gets to that next turn down there, that I won't have to worry about that. Like I said, my latest problem with Ventrac is it's too handy. You just see all the things you can do. I see that I can fix my driveway. I see that I can fix my hills. You know, deal with water runoff, deal with the ruts and the gullies, deal with making slopes that are unmanageable, making them manageable. So that's my latest problem with the Ventrac, is it's just too dang handy. I'm sure y'all understand that. And I'm sure I'm not the first person to put the Ventrac up on 3 axles. I've done that on my old Mahindra here. Well, not old, it's old relatively speaking, because the Ventrac's new. My little Mahindra is older. Now the Mahindra, I can get a scoop of gravel, shove it in the bucket, and that gives me some nice counterbalance, however much I want, as I'm running the shredder on the back. And I've learned that's a wise thing to do. Junior, I can't put a scoop of anything in the front because I'm using the front. I got the 4 weights in the back here. I'm almost wondering, can I get something and put in this hitch? I don't know how much tongue weight that thing can hold, but could I get something put in this hitch, have a little, not a 55-gallon drum, but something bigger than a 5-gallon bucket, you know, maybe a 10-gallon, 15-gallon, something or other that I can put in the hitch here and just load it up with rocks and give me some counterbalance on the back, because these 4 hitches, my belly full of ice cream, allow that tire right there to come up in the air. So either I need more ice cream, or I need more weight, or I need to be smarter, or a combination of the above. And I do have fluid in these tires. That was one of the options I got. So that should add weight at the bottom as well. All 8 tires are supposed to have fluid. If they don't, I need to talk to the dealer. I'm not quite sure. Man, as you go through stuff, you get junk all over the place. But I will tell you, at the 39 point something hour mark, how many hours are we at now? Where are we at? Oh, 31.6. I thought it was 37.6.